Welcome to the Mostly Mike Show. In a few recent videos, I mentioned a top secret place that I call the future location of the new Mostly Mike Show headquarters. You've also probably seen a few clips of the work being done. Well, in this video, I'll show you what I did thus far, at least on the exterior part. When I decided to buy a second house, I didn't have a YouTube channel, but I did have ideas of maybe starting a channel at some point. Even after starting the channel, the thought never crossed my mind to use this place as a new set for my bike shop videos, as well as a cool post-ride hangout spot. Never mind a photography studio and a quiet room to do voiceovers. In other words, this place is sort of a playhouse, as well as an escape from the real world. Please keep in mind that when you watch this renovation, that 1, it's for entertainment purposes and not meant to be a tutorial. Secondly, I was just a one-man show on this entire project, and this is where I also declare that I'm not a master carpenter by any. So my initial goal was to make the place look pretty from the street. Not saying that the place isn't already beautiful, but let's just call it a diamond in the rough. Phase 1 of the project, I had to tear out, then replace a 2-story wall, which was hopelessly out of square and out of plumb, aside from being structurally unsound. I'm not sure how the floor above this room managed to hold up over the years. But I try to live up to the old saying, if you're gonna do something, do it right, or at least make it look. I reframed the wall around the door, then tore out the bottom floor wall, trying to salvage as much of the old lumber as I could. Tearing the shingles off was so much fun. I wish it could have lasted forever. Jobs like this really build character. I set a beam in place under the second floor with a jack.
Alright, right up against the joist, get it somewhat plumb. Let's jack this a bit,
So it wouldn't cave in when I tore the wall out. What could possibly go wrong here? And finally, it looks like we're ready to build a wall here. It took some unorthodox methods of framing, along with a few choice cuss words, but I made it copacetic for Phase 2, the outdoor post-ride hangout area. In this phase, I installed some T111 siding in the back corner area, set some columns, framed the rafters in, and then installed the steel roofing. For finishing touches, I added some diagonal supports to the columns, put up some soffit and fascia, then rain gutters. Then came Phase 3, the other back corner rebuild. This back corner was a nightmare wall that required replacement for structural and design issues. I tried to keep everything as low budget as I could without sacrificing doing it right the first time. I did some quick framing, sheeting, and prepped it for vinyl siding. Phase 4 was the second floor corner room siding. The walls on this section were sided with cedar, so I opted to strip the ugly peeling paint and then restain those walls instead of siding over that part with vinyl to sort of break it up, you know? The diamond brush did an amazing job at stripping the paint.
see how this bad boy operates.
I'll include the Amazon link below for the diamond brush, as well as the link to the demonstration video. I'd highly recommend watching that video that shows what this tool is all about. I wish my face was showing in this scene because I'm probably smiling ear to ear. I just love painting and staining. I also love sarcasm. I screwed up royally on my color choice for the stain, but my neighbor Marcia set me straight on a few professional color choices to restain that siding when the weather permits. Thanks, Marcia. Of course, there was no such thing as fascia when this house was built, and they did things a little bit different back then, so to avoid the maintenance of painting, I had to get custom pieces of fascia made locally at a Mennonite roofing shop. These profiles were a little bit different for every roof line, and they folded each piece per the drawings that I provided them. They made these a lot cheaper than expected, and this saved me a shit ton of work. Installing them by myself was very systematic and time-consuming, but at the end of the day, it was definitely worth the trouble. After installing the soffit and fascia, there was just a few more touches until it was finally ready for the vinyl siding, which was phase 5. The entire house had pieces of foam insulation randomly nailed to various areas which had to be either removed or more added to make the entire wall one plane for the vinyl siding. Being the hoarder that I am, I salvaged most of it because you never know when it'll come in handy.
Well, you can't win them all. Good as new.
I began hanging siding on the front porch using some genuine simulated vinyl cedar shakes which I had left over from another project. Finally, it was time to side the rest of the house. I picked up the vinyl siding from my local building center and prepped it by installing all J-channels, starter strips, and corner posts on all sides of the house. Hanging the actual siding is the part that I really enjoyed because it makes a huge difference in a short period of time hiding all of the ugly stuff. Not that I wasn't having the time of my life through the rest of the project. It took me about 3.5 days to complete the siding phase of the project by myself. That part of the project definitely had its ups and downs without using scaffolding, but it was all great exercise. I needed all the exercise I could get at that point. Keeping the project moving left little time for mountain biking, and not mountain biking makes Mike a dull boy. It's rare for the weather to allow you to install vinyl siding in November because the colder temperatures make the siding brittle. I was certainly blessed with an unseasonably warm spell that lasted through this portion of the project. Because I didn't know how long this weather was going to last, I worked under lights to capitalize on the warm temperatures. There were many unforeseen circumstances that caused delays in the progress leading up to the installation of the vinyl siding, many of which happened without a camera's supervision, which explains why it's not in this video. I filmed most of the siding being hung and didn't want to bore you with the lengthy clips, so I'm playing these at 3000% speed. In my own opinion, I think it looks very satisfying covering up the tattered brown shingles one wall at a time. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
I feel better every day. The troubles I had have been washed away. I'm cleaning up my act and moving on. In the silence of my room, I'll sleep all night and get up at noon. There's nothing to distract me in my dreams. Like a pillow on my face, no one can hurt or invade my space. I still walk the streets with my head high, and though I wonder where I'd be if no one had helped or remembered me, I know my own will has got me through. I know why
It was getting to be that time of year when the weather was quite cantankerous, but the hideous green plywood on that front porch just had to go.
There's a comfort to be found when you find out there's no one else around. Set your mind back and leave.
Roadhouse.
Alright, we're gonna see how the Dama brush does taking some of this hideous green paint off of here. I already got started before I remembered to turn the camera on, and spoiler alert, it's actually doing pretty well. But here we go. Forgot to put some earplugs in. Stand by. These things can be pretty noisy.
So I stripped what I could from the columns using the Dama brush and replaced the ugly plywood with railing that I made.
Was always a little
I plan to stain this porch to match the cedar-sided corner when the weather permits. This job was a way larger undertaking than originally anticipated, which really built up my... If I didn't truly enjoy this kind of stuff, I would have never taken it on, so it's all good. Even though this place is the top secret headquarters of the Mostly Mike show, I decided to name the building in remembrance of someone special, my bestest buddy in the world, Coco, who passed away on October 26th of 2020. She appeared in many videos and will continue to be mentioned from time to time. Please stick around and enjoy this little montage that I recorded in the woodshop making an oak sign in honor of Coco's legacy. In her honor, I named this place Coco Villa. I wish that she was here to witness this dedication to her legacy. And now it's time to begin work on the interior and build my dream bike shop, but we'll save that video for another time. Until then, please be sure to check out my other videos and consider subscribing if you are new. Thanks for tuning in to the Mostly Mike show, and I'll see you next time.